Okay, so what if some of the core beliefs you hold, about success, about money, relationships, even purpose,
Mm-hmm.
what if they're like only half the story? Maybe less.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about those deeper truths, the ones that feel, well, uncomfortable.
Exactly. That's what this deep dive is all about. We're looking at the source, the unwritten playbook, 11 uncomfortable truths that change everything.
Right.
And yeah, it's not really about feeling comfortable. It's about facing these truths because honestly, that's often where real change kicks in. It separates people who act from those who just kind of watch.
So our mission here, for you listening, is to pull out the really key stuff from this playbook. Nobody just hands you
Yeah, a shortcut maybe?
a shortcut, exactly, to get you properly informed, even if it feels a bit challenging at first. These are definitely hard-earned truths we're covering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's unpack this first one. There's this widespread feeling out there, that if we just wait long enough,
Or maybe complain enough.
vent about it, vent enough,
Mm-hmm.
that someone somewhere will step in, fix things for us.
Right.
Like we just explain how tough it is.
It's such a common thought, almost comforting in a way, but it's often just an illusion, a limiting one.
So the first truth.
The first big uncomfortable truth here is nobody cares. Work harder. Now that sounds really harsh on the surface.
It does. A bit brutal.
But it's actually incredibly empowering when you absorb it. The second you really truly accept that no one is coming to save you, no magic bullet, no perfect person, that's when you grab the reins.
You take ownership.
Complete ownership of your life, your situation. The discomfort is just letting go of that safety net idea that someone else will fix it.
It really forces you to look inward, doesn't it? We see people stuck just waiting for
Someone
someone
to rescue them, a handout maybe, or just the right circumstances to magically appear.
Yeah, when the power is actually,
Yeah,
it's right there inside them. Like, take Ron's story.
good example.
Laid off from tech. Good job. Could have easily blamed the market, the company, whatever. Spent weeks feeling sorry for himself.
Which is understandable, but
But he didn't.
yeah.
Almost immediately, he was figuring out, okay, what skills are needed now, taking courses, hitting up contacts for freelance work.
Action. Immediate action.
Right. He pivoted into cybersecurity. And get this, within 8 months, he doubled his previous income. Because he didn't wait.
Didn't wait for permission or rescue, he just acted. It's a powerful illustration. Whining might get you some sympathy.
Sure, people feel bad for you for a minute.
But action, that's what gets results. Consistently.
Okay, so that idea of action, of taking control, it kind of leads right into this other piece of advice we hear all the time. Follow your passion. Sounds great.
It sounds amazing. Inspiring, even.
But is it the whole story? Is something missing there?
Well, it's fascinating how often that advice gets misinterpreted or maybe just oversimplified. The truth, according to this playbook, is passion doesn't pay, skill does.
Okay, break that down.
Passion is great fuel that motivates you, sure. But what actually turns that passion, that hobby, into something sustainable, like a career, it's competence, skill, mastery of something valuable, and crucially, market demand for that skill. Passion alone often isn't enough.
And actually, the source says passion often follows competence, right?
Exactly. The better you get at something, the more skilled you become, the more effective you are. Well, the more you tend to love doing it.
Yeah.
Competence breeds passion in many cases.
You know what I mean? It's about finding that intersection where what you're genuinely good at
Your unique ability.
meets something the world actually needs and is willing to, pay for.
Right. Think about Priya. Loved food, huge passion, but she didn't just rush into opening a restaurant, which is notoriously tough.
What did she do?
She adapted. She saw a specific need, all these food delivery apps needing great photos, so she built a service around that. Food photography.
Ah, so her skill in photography met a clear market need, still related to her passion for food.
Precisely. Her skill found the demand. So the takeaway isn't ignore passion. It's more like
Chase mastery first.
chase mastery. Develop valuable skills. Passion often follows. Or you find smart ways to connect your skill to your passion.
Got it. Okay, here's one that I think hits home for a lot of us. The feeling of being busy. Constantly busy.
Oh, yeah. The modern condition, right?
Totally. Calendars jammed, inbox overflowing, running from one thing to the next. But is all that running around actually getting us anywhere important?
And that brings us straight to truth number 3. Being busy is not being productive.
Oof. That one stings a little.
It can, because we often confuse motion with progress. Back-to-back meetings, firing off emails constantly, juggling 10 tasks, and it makes you feel important.
Like you're essential.
Exactly.
Right.
But true productivity, it's about the output, the results, the impact, not just the hours logged or the tasks juggled. The discomfort is admitting, maybe a lot of our busyness is just noise.
Wheel spinning.
Think about the freedom in really getting that, though, the clarity. It's not about working more hours.
Oh. It's about working the right hours, on the right things. Sam's story here is great. Felt totally swamped by emails, always on.
Like so many people.
So he made a change, a pretty radical one for his workplace culture. No checking email before noon, period.
Wow.
Takes discipline, big time. But guess what? It tripled his deep work time, focused work. He ended up finishing in 6 hours what used to take him like 12 scattered hours.
He defined his day by output, not by reacting to incoming stuff.
Exactly. So the takeaway is...
Schedule priorities. Don't prioritize schedules.
Yeah.
Focus on what matters. Block time for it. Protect that time. Don't just react to whatever pops up.
Okay, quick check-in. If you're feeling a little defensive right now, maybe a bit uncomfortable hearing some of this, good. Seriously, good.
Yeah, growth doesn't come from just nodding along, does it?
Not usually. It comes from shaking things up a bit, challenging your reality. And hey, you're still listening. That says something powerful about you. You're open.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about money. It's fascinating how often we misunderstand wealth, isn't it? We tend to fixate on the income number, the salary.
Right. How much you earn? Big number equals wealthy.
Okay.
Right. But maybe not.
That leads us right into truth 4. Wealth is not what you earn, but what you keep.
Ah, what you keep.
Exactly. A massive income doesn't mean much if almost all of it is going out the door every month. You can earn a lot and still be broke, essentially.
Living paycheck to paycheck, just with bigger numbers.
Precisely. True financial freedom, real wealth building, it comes from creating margin. That gap, that intentional space between what comes in and what goes out.
And that margin isn't just about saving pennies, is it? It's about building options, resilience.
Absolutely. Opportunity. The discomfort here, often it's about confronting our own spending, our habits, the lifestyle choices we make, maybe without even thinking too hard about them.
It makes you ask yourself a tough question.
Which is, are you building a lifestyle that just eats up your income? Or are you building a future from your income? Think about Amit.
What's his story?
Earning $80. Decent, but not astronomical. But he made a choice. He aggressively invested 40% of his income for 6 years straight.
40%. That's significant.
Hugely significant. Meanwhile, he had friends earning way more, maybe $150K, $200K, but they were drowning in debt. Fancy cars, big houses, the works. Their spending kept pace with their earnings.
So Amit, earning less, actually built more wealth.
Way more control, way more freedom down the line. He chose control over consumption, so the takeaway.
It's not income. It's control over income. That's powerful. Okay, let's shift again. Understanding ourselves, understanding other people, we often lean on our gut feelings, right? Or intuition. I just have a feeling about this.
We do, and intuition can be valuable sometimes, but it's not infallible. Feelings can. Well, they can mislead us, cloud our judgment.
So how do we get to real insight, especially when things are emotionally charged?
This brings us to truth 5. Emotions lie, patterns don't. Your feelings are real, they're valid as feelings, but they aren't always objective reality. They can be skewed by your mood, your biases, maybe just a bad night's sleep.
So feelings aren't facts.
Not always. The key, this playbook suggests, is to learn to step back, observe, look for behaviors, trends, data points, both in yourself and in others. Uncover the underlying patterns.
And the discomfort there is trusting the evidence even when your feelings are screaming something different.
Exactly that. Especially when emotions run high. It's tough. Think about Alicia's example.
Okay.
She kept finding herself in relationships with the same kind of person. Emotionally unavailable, narcissistic traits.
Oh, that pattern. Many people recognize that one.
Right. And each time her feelings would tell her, oh, but this time it's different. He's different. But the pattern, the actual behaviors, they were identical.
So what changed?
It was only when she consciously stopped listening only to her feelings and started charting the actual patterns, the red flags, the recurring behaviors, that she could see it clearly. And then finally, changed the outcome, stepped away from the script.
Stepping back from the feeling, looking at the recurring script. Wow.
So the insight often lives where the raw emotion ends. You need that distance. Insight lives where emotion ends.
Here's another interesting one. Think about when you share a new idea. Maybe a big change you want to make in your life. What's the first reaction you often get from people? or even look for yourself.
That leads us to truth 6. Most people want validation, not change.
Validation. Yeah, that rings true.
The vast majority of us, when presented with something new or a challenge to our current way of thinking, our instinct is often to seek agreement, affirmation. We want to be told we're right or that things are okay as they are.
We're not necessarily looking for someone to poke holes in it or give us tough feedback.
Not usually. We want the attaboy or a tag girl. This playbook warns us not to fall into that trap ourselves and not to expect deep change from others if they're only seeking validation. The discomfort. It's actively seeking out constructive criticism, not just praise.
Seeking the challenge, not the echo. That's where the growth is, isn't it? Real growth almost never happens when you're just comfortable and everyone's agreeing with you.
Exactly. Vinay's story is a good example here. He put a business idea out there online, was hoping for encouragement, got slammed. Lots of criticism, some of it pretty harsh.
Ouch. Most people would retreat there. Get defensive.
Totally. But Vinay, he leaned into the discomfort. He actually looked at the criticism objectively, used the valid points to pivot his idea, refine it, and that revised version, that's the one that eventually got funded.
Wow. He used the criticism as fuel.
Turned discomfort into progress, which reinforces the takeaway. Growth begins where comfort ends.
Okay, let's talk about something super relevant today. Digital life. We are swimming in content, right?
Drowning sometimes. Seriously. Endless scrolling, infinite streaming, podcasts for days you can consume forever. But what's the hidden cost? The uncomfortable downside of all that passive intake.
Ah, yes. Truth 7. Consumption is killing your creativity.
Killing creativity. How so?
Think about it. Constantly taking things in social media, news, shows, whatever, without balancing it with creating something yourself. It kind of dulls your edge. It's passive.
You're just absorbing, not producing.
Right, and it eats up time. Huge amounts of time. And mental energy. Energy that could be going into building something, innovating, writing, making art, starting that project. Whatever your creative outlet is, the discomfort is admitting just how much time we might be losing to passive consumption.
It's a shift from being just an observer to being an active participant, an active creator. That sounds really powerful.
It is. Look at Ananya. She realized she was spending like 4 hours a day just watching YouTube videos.
4 hours? That's a part-time job.
Pretty much. So she made a conscious decision, cut way back, and she deliberately redirected that time, that energy.
Towards starting a side business, building an online store in a niche she cared about, and now that business makes enough to fund her travels around the world.
From YouTube consumer to world-traveling entrepreneur. That's quite a trade.
A direct result of shifting from consumption to creation. So the challenge, the takeaway, is simple but hard. Build more than you scroll.
Still with us.
Good.
Because if you are, you're not average, honestly. The average person, they probably tapped out when things got a bit too real, a bit uncomfortable back there.
It takes something to stick with challenging ideas.
It really does. But you stayed, and that's your advantage right there. You're ready for more, ready for the deeper stuff. Okay, let's talk about freedom. We usually think of freedom as, well, doing whatever you want, whenever you want. No rules, no restrictions.
Right. That's the common idea. Boundless freedom. Anarchy, almost.
But what if real practical freedom, the kind that lets you achieve things, what if it's found in something that seems like the total opposite, something we often resist?
And that brings us to truth 8. Discipline is freedom.
Discipline is freedom. Okay, that sounds counterintuitive. Explain.
We see discipline as a cage, as restriction. Ugh, I have to do this. But think about it differently. Discipline is actually the ability to consistently do what needs to be done, even when motivation fades, which it always does.
Right. Motivation is fickle.
Totally fickle. Discipline means building habits, systems, and those habits, that consistency,
Right.
it frees you. It frees you from procrastination, from being swayed by every little feeling, from the paralysis of, I don't feel like it today.
So the discipline creates the capacity to act.
Exactly. It builds your internal capacity to reach your goals. You're not just hoping you'll feel motivated. You have the structure in place to act regardless. The discomfort is simply in the daily grind, the consistent, sometimes unglamorous effort.
It's not about waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration. It's the steady work. Like Rakesh.
What did Rakesh do?
Committed to waking up at 5 a.m. every single day for 100 days straight.
Wow. Why?
To build his online course. Not in one manic burst, but systematically, piece by piece. That steady, quiet discipline, It led to a super successful launch. 4 figures in pre-sales before it even went live.
Because he put in the work consistently. He wasn't waiting for the mood to strike.
He freed himself through discipline. It wasn't motivation ruling him. It was his commitment.
Which leads to the takeaway. Habits outlast motivation. Build the habits.
Okay, think about this. You could be incredibly talented, brilliant even, the smartest person in your field, a certified genius.
Right.
But if nobody knows who you are, if your brilliance just exists in your own head or your own little office, does it have the impact it could?
That's a tough question. And it leads right into truth 9. Networking beats talent.
Whoa, okay, beats talent. That's strong.
It is strong. And it's not saying talent is worthless, of course not. But talent needs to be seen. It needs opportunity to shine. And opportunities often come through people, through connections.
So even a genius can struggle if they're isolated.
Absolutely. If you're not connected to the people who can see your talent, champion your work, offer collaborations, open doors, your talent might just remain potential. The discomfort here, for many, is putting yourself out there, building relationships, especially if you're more introverted.
It's not just about what you know, but who knows you know it.
And who trusts you, who wants to work with you. Tanya's story is great here. She was a good designer, solid skills, but maybe not the absolute best in her graduating class, you know.
Okay, talented, but not necessarily number one.
Right, but she made a commitment, a networking commitment. She decided to send 10 genuine direct messages on LinkedIn every single day, not spammy, but actual outreach, asking questions, offering help.
10 a day, that's consistent effort.
It is, and within 4 months, that consistent networking landed her a massive global client, something that completely changed her career trajectory.
So her network didn't just open a door?
It basically built her a new highway. It amplified her talent, her reach, her potential, way beyond what just sitting and designing could do alone.
Your network amplifies your net worth, both financially and in terms of opportunity.
That's the essence of it. Your network amplifies your net worth.
Let's talk about comfort zones. We love them, right? Feeling safe, secure, knowing what to expect. It feels, well, comfortable.
It's human nature to seek comfort, safety, predictability.
But what if that very comfort, that feeling of safety, is actually dangerous? What if it's slowly, quietly killing something important inside us?
That's the core of Truth 10. Comfort zones kill careers. And maybe more than just careers. Ambition. Growth.
How so? It feels safe, not dangerous.
What feels safe right now in the short term can lead to long-term stagnation. You stop learning, stop stretching, stop taking risks. Your ambition slowly fades. Your edge gets dull. Because real growth, meaningful progress, almost always requires stepping outside that comfort zone.
It demands discomfort, pushing boundaries, maybe even risking failure.
Exactly. The discomfort is right there in the lead. Leaving the familiar, venturing into the unknown, even if it's scary.
It's a powerful reminder. If you're not feeling at least a little bit scared sometimes.
A little challenged, a little uncertain.
You're probably not growing. You're likely just coasting. Think about Apishek.
Tell me about Rethink.
Had a really cushy corporate job. Safe, predictable, good money. But he felt stagnant, like he was just going through the motions.
Golden handcuffs feeling?
Totally.
Okay.
So he took a huge leap, quit the job, went into freelancing. Terrifying at first, he said. Total uncertainty.
Big risk.
Huge risk. But now, he earns 3 times what he did in the corporate job. And he has freedom.
Yeah.
Chooses his clients, his projects. He grew massively because he embraced the discomfort.
Left the safety net behind. So the takeaway is pretty direct.
If you're not scared, you're not growing.
Okay.
You have made it almost all the way through some seriously challenging truths. That fact alone puts you way ahead of the curve. Most people check out when it gets uncomfortable.
It's true. Persistence in facing these things is rare.
The finish line in this kind of work, this kind of reflection, is where most people give up. But the real gold is right here. You've earned this final, maybe most fundamental truth. So where does this all lead? We've hit on work, money, emotions, relationships, growth, all these uncomfortable areas. What's the thread connecting them all? What's the ultimate truth here that kind of pulls everything together?
This is the big one. The foundation, maybe. Truth 11. You are the problem. And that's empowering.
Whoa, okay, you are the problem. That sounds harsh. Like blame.
It sounds like blame, but it's absolutely not about blame. Not at all. It's about radical ownership. Think about how easy it is, how tempting it is to point fingers outward.
Oh, yeah. The economy sucks. My boss is terrible. My family doesn't support me. Bad timing, bad luck.
Exactly. We're masters at finding external reasons for why things aren't working out, but true power, real agency, starts the moment you realize you are the constant in every single equation of your life.
You're the common denominator.
In every challenge, every success, every failure, every relationship, you are there. Not as a victim of circumstances, but as the primary agent. The one with the power to change your response, your actions, your mindset.
So it's not blame, it's control. Recognizing where your control actually lies.
Precisely. The discomfort is immense because you have to let go of all the excuses. But the liberation that comes with it, it's profound.
That shift
Yeah.
from blaming everything else to taking total ownership.
Yeah.
That's where the real freedom kicks in, isn't it? It's not about beating yourself up.
Not at all. It's about taking your power back. Sneha's story nails this. Her first startup failed. Initially, she blamed everyone and everything else, market, co-founders, investors.
Usual suspect.
Usual list. But then she had a realization. She forced herself to take full radical ownership. What was her role? What could she have done differently? She got mentorship, completely shifted her mindset, and rebooted.
And the second time.
The next venture succeeded because she wasn't blaming, she was owning. She recognized her power in the equation and used it.
Wow. Radical ownership.
Is radical liberation. It's freeing yourself from victimhood.
You made it through. You navigated all 11 of those uncomfortable truths. And honestly, that means you're ready, not just for more comfort, but for real clarity.
Not just for a quick hit of motivation, but for building real sustained momentum.
Yeah, these aren't easy things to sit with. They challenge us. But they're the kind of truths that genuinely transform things.
I think the biggest shift people might feel after really grappling with these isn't just knowing them intellectually, it's allowing them to fundamentally reshape how you see yourself, your capabilities, your agency in the world.
Moving from just watching or blaming
to being empowered, realizing you're no longer waiting for someone to hand you the playbook for life. You've become the one writing it every day through your choices, your actions, your ownership.
That's powerful. So now you don't just have the playbook, you are the playbook.
Exactly. So the final thought to leave you with, the real challenge moving forward, knowing these uncomfortable truths now, what's one small, maybe slightly uncomfortable action you'll take this week that reflects your new playbook? Just one small thing.